And making the long walk from the rear corridors of the Keilor Basketball Stadium, a young man trained by Amanda Buchanan at the Underworld Gym, Ben Smullen. Smullen, usually a Muay Thai stylist, forced to leave his knees at home tonight as he goes to war against Tony Antonio. And making his way to the ring, the man with perhaps the most exciting kicks in the business in Australia. They call him the Wonder Tony Antonio. Hammer, you talk about excitement, you talk about wonder kickers, and you talk about the Western Wonder Tony Antonio.
Well, Tony Antonio's second fight back after a bit of a spell is taking on Ben Smullen. Yeah, Smullen, of course, is more Thai stylist than kick fighter, but nevertheless, against Tony Antonio, Ben Smullen is certainly going to have his hands full.
Let's go across to RDK.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a welterweight fight scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds, brought to you by Australian Trim Supply. Fighting out of the blue corner, he is trained by Amanda Buchanan out of the Underworld Gym in Melbourne, weighing in at 65.1 kilos, Ben Smullen. Fighting out of the red corner, a part of Team Ultimate with Johnny Sheeter, a Taekwondo black belt, widely regarded as the most exciting kicker in the country. He weighed in at 65.25 kilos. They call him the Wonder, Tony Antonio.
Well, this huge crowd rallying behind the Western Wonder, Tony Antonio. The most exciting kicker perhaps in Australia, but not without some heavy bandaging around his left knee, Hammer.
Well, perhaps masking an injury or some sort of padding there being put on to obviously protect the area.
It will be Tony Antonio out of the red corner from Team Ultimate, Ben Smullen from the Underworld Gym, set for 5 by 2. And this one should be a cracker. Bryce Purvis.
Both aware of the rules. You got no questions. Listen to my commands at all times and obey them at all times. You understand that? Touch gloves now in the last round.
Well, Ben Smullen, the only bearded kickboxer perhaps in Australia at the current time, Hammer. Bringing facial hair back into fashion. I like it.
There's always been a little bit different for Ben Smullen.
Since his fashionable modelling debut with the Herald Sun newspaper earlier this year.
Certainly.
The Smulmeister has been everywhere. Here we go in the first round of action. Look out for the turning kicks and the triple kicks of the Wonder. Tony Antonio, a former, or still a current ITF black belt, training under Robert Lai here in Melbourne. And Ben Smullen, as the Hammer said, a Thai stylist, tonight forced to leave his knees at home and fight under kickboxing rules.
You'll see Ben Smullen just continually stalking forward, but he needs to keep the work rate up. Does Smullen in the white shorts,
and we
Antonio
will see
in the purple.
If Antonio can launch his Wonder kick, that step-up side kick to the face off the left leg. The one, of course, that he knocked out Hussein Moran with a couple of years ago. There's the turning double kick from Tony Antonio. Step-up side kick there from Antonio, working the Wonder kick up to the face, and never any shortage of excitement when Antonio's in town.
Well, certainly Tony Antonio is one of those great ambassadors for the sport that can put on a real show, real display of all sorts of technique, which has the crowd obviously sitting on the edge of their seat throughout his bouts.
Ben Smullen is a hard nut to crack. He is a tough boy, take nothing away from him. It will be a hard task here for Antonio to stop him. Smullen just a whipping right hand. Antonio getting underneath of it. Inside thigh kick there from Smullen. Antonio came over the top of the left hand.
Right.
Smullen ties him up. Referee Bryce Burwhistle separates both men here in the first round. Oh, nice short left hook there. Nice tight hook it was by Antonio. Goes for the inside thigh kick. This has been Antonio's round so far, Hammer.
Well, that hook was caught on the gloves there by Smullen. Tight guard. Ben Smullen is an experienced campaigner. He's fought in Japan. He's done the hard yards in centre ring, and he's going to be one tough customer for Tony Antonio to take apart.
Turning back kick there from Tony Antonio, dancing around the centre of the ring. Smullen moves in again, double jab, leg kick combination, then the short right hand. Antonio goes for the inside thigh, needs to get out of danger. End of the first round of action. Hammer, we'll go to the towels. How do you see it?
Well, with a busier work rate, Tony Antonio will have a few more points racked up on the scorecard, I'd say, in that the first round. Ben Smullen just sitting waiting and trying to land off some good points.
Every time he's got to take it and top your kick. Yes. So you've got to be careful with that, right? I want you to try and get that overhand right, right? The left hook's beautiful. All night long, the left hook. Every time you go down, left hook. Three. You won that round? No? Feeling good? Yes. Fast? Like I said.
Once again, we see Antonio with that spinning, turning kick. Spun off to do the maybe the side up back kick, but then opted for the round. Just got his momentum going here. Smullen had Antonio in a neutral corner. Antonio going downstairs. Smullen just missing with that big right hand. And Ben really does set. But so it's good weaving skills.
We are ready to rumble in the second round of action. The wonder. Tony Antonio out of the red corner against Ben Smullen out of the blue corner. Bryce Birtwistle gets us underway. Good solid work rate by Antonio in the first round. Can Smullen step up the tempo here? A spinning hook kick there from Antonio, and then a round kick off the left leg. That's why they call him the wonder. Short left hook there by Antonio. Smullen works the left hook of his own. High left round kick there by Antonio in close, showing great agility. Step up couple of hooks there from Antonio off the lead.
He is very quick, Michael, Tony Antonio.
Trying to get the crescent kick up there, Hammer.
Crescent turning into the axe kick, down into the collarbone of Smullen, didn't come off for him.
Oh, big right hand there from Smullen. Caught him on the side of the head. Only a slip, says referee Bryce Birtwistle. But Antonio can't afford to drop his guard for a split second, Hammer.
He's got to be careful. He does wave his guard around, Antonio. He seems to catch most stuff, but against someone like Smullen, you've really got to be wary. Ben has probably an inch or so of height on Antonio, and he will have that long right hand that rockets in very solidly.
Ben Smullen now working Antonio in front of his own blue corner. Amanda Buchanan there along with Matt Smullen from the World Gym.
Smullen caught about 3 or 4 times off the left-hand side of Antonio in the blue corner there.
Tony Antonio looking very impressive here in the second stanza. Johnny Sheeter has trained him a treat. Inside thigh kick, just sweeping out the support leg there. Uppercut left-hand combination there by Antonio. Takes an outside thigh kick. Smullen missed with the inside thigh kick. Antonio just ties him up. Birtwistle separates both men, Hammer.
Bryce just keeping a very close eye on this one.
A cracker of a contest so far. Two very evenly matched fighters. Oh, Antonio drops the quick left hand down to the right rib cage. Spinning heel kick from the wonder. Did it come close?
Those heel kicks are missing by a matter of inches.
Smullen just ties him up against the ropes. Birtwistle separates both men into the final seconds now of this round. Antonio switches up and works the rear round kick. Now switches back to southpaw orthodox stance. Overhand left it was by Ben Smullen. Smiles at Antonio. Said, is that all you got? End of the second round, Hammer.
Second round, a little bit better round that one for Ben Smullen. Not a lot in that one, pretty even. First round, Antonio. Second round, if you have to call it even, could go the way of Antonio. He landed a couple of good kicks. Smullen landed some good hand combos. But I think, actually thinking back, that little flurry that Antonio hit Smullen with in the blue corner there was about 3 or 4 lefts that landed cleanly. They're going to score quite well for him, Antonio.
You're throwing one kick. Once, that's it.
Yeah. It's beautiful work. Your hands are up beautifully, mate. Keep those hands up, okay? Hands are up really well. Sorry?
He helped you with that kick to the head, yeah. No, that was good. You got a mark on your neck.
Well, there's the blue corner admitting that the kick to the head or neck did catch him. Smullen's corner, knowing that Antonio landed a few clean shots there in the blue corner. But that was a bit of a slip come forced right hand through the guard of Antonio by Smullen. As I said, if Smullen finds his range, Antonio has to